Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is June 26, 2025, and this is my weekly trade review. We're reviewing an SPX and Condor trade that's 10 watt, 0.2 delta, thereabouts, 0-day options. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading. So please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. This is how I go about training my brain for a new strategy that I want to do. And I use it, and I'm taking a year to do it. If you guys, I did this once before in the past, where I was actually we was trading the cues. I did some studies on that, and all, and we usually practice it and make sure it works. Sometimes we do it in a simulated account, and sometimes we do it in a paper account like I'm doing here. But and this is what I do to actually get myself ready to see if I can actually do this. But the problem with trading these things in a paper account, the feels that you get, first of all, you got to have live data. I do have live data. I have enough money in the account where I'm getting live data. So I'm getting feels that I'm okay with opening this trade. But the feels that I get with closing these trades is the questionable part. So, and that's why a lot of times I look at this and see if it actually would have worked out before. My time getting in the trade for me, I think best for me is between 9:30. I like getting in at the open, 9:30 to 9:35, because a lot of times there's things that happen in the market before 10:30 or before 11 o'clock that will get me out of this trade. So at the latest time that I want to be into this trade is 11 o'clock. The other thing that I do on this trade, if I see myself going to be taking a loss on this trade, I want to keep my loss to $1. And the minimum profit that I want to take on this trade, if I see things are not working out and I should just go ahead and take a small profit, is 20 cents and all. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at what happened this week. We can see that the VIX has been dropping. So this has caused where the spread itself is not as from where I'm selling at and the two sell sides are getting closer. And all that's something I noticed here this week and noticed here today, and all that the sell sides are getting closer, and all. So that's one thing. The other thing that I also have noticed with this VIX dropping, and all, like it's been dropping this week, that the amount of money that you actually are getting on this spread is actually also dropping. I used to get over $3. Now I'm getting around $2.50 thereabouts on this trade. So just some heads up on what's actually happening with this trade as we go along. And this is some of the things that you need to realize, for me, as you go along. So it's not a big surprise, again, when you start trading this thing and numbers are not what you expected, or numbers are not what you want, and all. And this is, again, and trading it in the live market, you get to see all this stuff. The numbers are good and all. It's just the feels that's going to be an issue. On Monday, I ended up selling that iron Condor at 6,000, 610 on the call side. 59.25, 59.15 on the put side, around that 0.2 delta. I ended up taking a loss on this trade because based on what I was seeing at the time, this market looked like it was going to run right on up here like it did to this to the strikes that I had sold. And I didn't know at that time. You don't know if it's going to keep going or if it's going to do what it did. It came back in here and probably gave me a chance to get out of it for the 25% that I wanted, but I didn't know that at that time. But again, me seeing the market run and expecting it to run on up to here, I did end up doing a long call. And all, and as you can see, that call was pretty expensive and all, but based on it running and all, I did do a video. You can check the video out, and then I got into a little bit more detail there. I was able to make $1.60 to make the day whole for the day, and I'll at least make 60 cents on this particular trade for the day is the way I look at it. Tuesday was another crazy day. It was a good day. It's just that Tuesdays are always a rough day for me, and all, for whatever reason. I don't understand why. I do understand why, but I don't want to go there. So I was able to sell that iron Condor for $60.95. Well, on the call side was $60.95, $61.05. So you sell low, buy back higher. I don't know what. So again, we've been looking at Tuesday, so I get all confused. Then on the put side was $60.30, $60.20 on the put side, around a 0.2 delta. I put that trade in, and I got a $2.45 credit. Then I guess when I was setting up my closing trade, I ended up setting it up. I made a mistake and closed it for 10 cents. So I turned right back around and I placed the trade again. I got $2.50. Again, that's why I'm saying a lot of times I can see that I can get more on the trade than what I actually got usually the first time. It ended up giving me $2.50 credit, and I did the same strikes, and I set my close up for $1.85, making 25% of the credit that I received. And that trade actually was put on at 9:35 and closed at 9:55, and that's about ideal how this trade usually works. I'm usually out of this trade around by 10 o'clock, and I've seen that happen also in the live account, and where I've traded it at. All right, that was Tuesday. Let's go to Thursday. Tuesday. Let's go to Wednesday. Wednesday. I was able to place that iron Condor at 61.30, 61.40 on the call side, 60.75, 60.65 on the put side, around a .2 delta. Received this low credit, $2.15, and was able to close it for $1.65. Was in that trade at 9.35, out of that trade at 9.56. And all. This would have been a good day no matter what. It stayed well within the strikes, and also again, no matter what kind of field I got, I wouldn't have had an issue with this particular day placing this trade live. And all. Today, last day I'm doing. Thursday, this morning, I placed this iron Condor at 61.35, 61.45 on the call side, 60.90, 60.80 on the put side, around a .2 delta. Received a $2.45 credit. Ended up closing it for $2.30. What I could have waited. Again, this is me being impatient. And today I'm actually having a little issue. That's why I won't be able to trade tomorrow at all. I got a couple of appointments tomorrow, so I won't be in front of the computer at all. So to take care of other stuff. I saw this trade. It was doing this and all, and the day seemed like a pretty bullish day to me. I was expecting the market to run up. I said, let me just make me a quick dollar on this thing and close this other trade. So that's what I did. I saw this little setup. It was as this was dropping, me going down the previous. This dashed blue line is a previous day high line for me, and all this white line is a previous. This is this open line. Again, seeing it drop below opening and having previous day just below there, we came down here, and I was expecting a bounce, and we did get the bounce. I was able to pull off $1.30 on that trade, and I was able to close this for a 15-cent profit, making the overall day, about where I wanted to be at for the day. And that's pretty much it. That's all. Let's take a quick look at the numbers. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this and take a look at the numbers and the times. Now I'll scroll this on down. My profit and loss right now is above $1 million. I'm at that 1M on the profit and loss. But what I'm looking for this net liquid value to be at that $1 million and all, because that's just profit and loss. That doesn't take into account commissions and any other fees and stuff that's going on. That seems like a lot. That seems like a big difference between this number and that number over here and all. Don't understand it all, but what I'm looking for is this net liquid value and all to be there. And I'm gonna look at it here in this account like this. My spreadsheet, I see something completely different anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And since it's virtual and it's me training, I just want to see that I can do this consistently. Number one. But let's go back to Monday. Monday, like I said, I was put this trade on 6/23 Monday at 9/31. $2.60 credit. I got out of it for like $1 loss, and then I ended up doing the directional trade, 13.80, 15.40. Then on Tuesday. Was in this trade for 245. Out of this trade, then the quick out, did something with some goofy, screwy, Now see, I can see 932, 934, and then again I placed a trade again at 935 and got a $2.50, and then I was at almost 10 o'clock again, right around that time where I expect things to kind of happen, around $1.85. The thing is, the options go kind of crazy around that time and just before that time. With my directional trades that I do, other trades that I do get filled and all. And you make the money that you want to make. It's kind of crazy and all. But with these spread trades, I don't know if that's going to happen. That's the whole thing. I only seen it happen once, so that's why I'm a little concerned about that. And plus, if I'm trading 5 or more contracts, because again, you might end up just getting a partial fill too when that stuff happens. On this day, that was Tuesday. This is the 25th. This was yesterday. This was Wednesday. I sold that thing for $2.15. I was in there at 9.35. Looking back over here, I was out of this trade at 9.56 for $1.65, 25% of the credit thereabouts and all. Then today, let me scroll this up just a little bit like that. Right there. Then today, I actually sold that on Condor at 9.35. Received a $2.45 credit. I did see that higher than that, again, the way this market was going today. But I turned around. I sort of looked like things were going to get kind of ugly. The thing is about these directional trades that I do at 8.90, I do see these things go almost $1 against me. Again, I'm not that good, and a lot of times I'll jump out of a trade. It's all caught. Well, let's stick with it. I see these things go against me before I actually get to my dollar plus on these trades. And I'm kind of been doing this, and I'm kind of used to that based on I still see the market is still expected to do what I expected to do. I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with that even with my live trades the way I do it. Sometimes I let my live trades go too far, and I ended up closing them. But that's the other reason why I'm talking this out, mainly because I have to give my live trade. I cannot trade these 0-day options with my live trades. Most of these 0-day options with my live trades unless I'm selling them. This thing here, that's why I'm practicing this, and I'm being pretty disciplined about looking at the indicators that I do use to actually, and chart stuff that I do see in order to place these trades. When I'm doing these directional trades here on the SPX with these 0-day options, that's the one thing that I am being pretty disciplined about, because I know these trades can, because even once, like I say, even they still can go against me a little bit. But I'm at the place where, again, I expect these things to actually go higher, the market to go higher based on from where I got it at. And that was the other thing that I was looking at too, how cheap this. It was less than $10. Usually I'm paying more than $10 for these. That was the whole volatility thing being down even more today. And I'm buying these usually right at the money, or maybe I'm usually right at the money is where I try to do. But they might slip where they go like a one strike or so out of the money, And like I say, I was in it. 245 out at 230, and then actually made the money back. And that was still, I made a little bit of money there, but made the money that I was really expecting to make with my directional trade. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm not, like I said earlier, I will not be in front of the computer tomorrow. I will not be trading at all tomorrow. I got a couple of appointments to take care of. Some issues, some back pain stuff that I got going on. So that's it. I hope this has been helpful for some. Practice, 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 practice. Make sure you understand what you're doing, understand the trade and the strategy that you're actually placing, this practice will help you cut down on any mistakes that you may have with your platform. As you can see, I'm still making a few mistakes here and there. I'm kind of surprised the day wasn't too bad. But that was a good thing, because again, I was in a little bit of pain this morning, and I started not to trade. But I said, let me just get this trade on, because I know I'm not going to be able to trade it all tomorrow. And that's it. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a great week. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll speak with you on the market review. I will be doing the market review tomorrow after the market close. Shouldn't be an issue with that, because it's not, what's going on is not that serious. But again, I get to be a bit of a whiner once I get in pain and stuff at times. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye. Right Side Trader here.